Hey there, Keller Williams Success Andover. My name is Hudson Warren, and I'm super excited and I'm very appreciative to have a few minutes of your time today. I would love to be live with you, and yet, as you're watching this, I am currently many, many feet in the sky on an airplane. So I cannot be there, and yet here you go. And just pretend it's live so that you'll actually pay attention and play all in. And my goal in these next few minutes is to provide you value and make sure that if nothing else, I leave you thinking because we live in a very busy time and we're in a very busy industry and we do not often take the time to actually think and collect our thoughts. So that is my goal for today. A little bit about me. I am an agent first. I have been an agent for 18 years. I still actively sell real estate. I work with sellers. I even work with buyers here and there because that's what you do, right? This is my business. I lead an expansion team called the HomeWise team, and we cover the west coast of Florida. I am a maps coach. That's probably my most favorite role. I love pouring into people, and my main focus with maps is bold, which is why I'm here today. I will be your very lucky bold coach come this August. I'm part owner of a title company. I am a PC coach for mid-level agents who haven't quite hit mastery level yet and yet know what they're doing enough to go sell some real estate in my market center at home. And I'm a former team leader, so I've sat on the leadership side of things. I've actually sold real estate successfully in 2 states. And on top of that, I have 6 children at home, all under the age of 14. And if we're not renovating a house, we're selling it and buying the next project while we live in it because I like things fun and fascinating. And so, and all of that I do, I think something important to share that I'm really proud of is that I run all of my businesses. I actively produce, and I do that all in a 40-hour work week. I firmly believe that while there's nothing wrong with working more than that, if that's what you choose to do and that's what you like to do, that there is no reason that you can't be wildly successful and take control of your time and be present when it's time to do other things. So I am here today because I'm going to be your bold coach, and yet I would like you to do an activity with me real quick. And first of all, I'm going to challenge you to actually do it. I'm not live, so I can't see if you did it, and yet everybody else in the room can see, and your leadership can see, and you came here to learn something today anyway, so why not just do it? And before we do that activity, I want you to think about if you were to leave your team meeting at the end of the meeting and you were headed out on vacation. It's still summer, right? If you were headed out on vacation and you were going to drive to your destination and you were going somewhere that was many hours away and you had never been there before, the first thing you do, I would assume, even if you are the most stubborn person in the room, is that you would put the address where you're going in your GPS. Now, what's the first thing that your GPS has to do in order to get you the route to get to your destination? So I'm going to guess that there's at least one, if not many, smart people in the room that said, it's got to figure out where you are. So there's no way to get to where you desire to be without absolutely understanding and acknowledging where you are. So when we do this really brief exercise, I want you to look at it through those lenses, okay? This is not to make you feel bad. It's not even to make you feel good. It's simply to make you aware and to give you clarity, because clarity, after all, is power. So I want you to take something you can write with, and you're going to draw 3 circles, and it's going to look like this, except I bet your circles look more like circles because there's a reason I'm not an artist, okay? And actually, let me put it right there. There you go. So 2 circles on top and 1 circle at the bottom. So go ahead and draw that now. No one's going to care if your circles are ovals or oblongs. It doesn't matter, okay? So draw those. And then I want you to label the top 2 circles business and life. So 3 circles, kind of like an upside down bubble triangle, business and life. So go ahead and do that for me. This is not going to hurt. It's going to be great. Now let's look at the business circle first and only look at and think about your business. Now I want you to think of your business as it sits today, at this moment in time that you are watching this video. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, and 10 being, I'm ready to go. Like, this is fantastic. Nothing could possibly be better. I'd like you to rank your business as it sits on a scale of 1 to 10. My only caveat is that you cannot choose 7 because studies show that is the default. I'm not really going to think about it answer. So scale of 1 to 10, don't choose 7. How would you rate your business today? knowing that it's not what it was 6 months ago. It's not what you hope it is 2 months from now. What is it today? Go ahead and write that number down. Don't give it any judgment. Don't get lost in it. Just write that number down. All right. We have another circle that says life. You're all human beings. I can't see you, and yet I'm going to guess there's no robots in the room. You all have lives, you have families, you have friends, you have passions, you have hobbies, you have things that you do outside of real estate. And if you don't, we really need to talk, right? So I want you to look at your life. And again, same thing. What is it today? Not yesterday, not tomorrow. What is it today? How would you rate your life outside of your business on a scale of 1 to 10? Same rule. Don't choose 7. I know it's an easy choice, and yet that's the reason we don't choose it. Okay? So go ahead and write that number down. Now, I live in Florida. And I am aware that our school system is not the top in the country. And yet, even I know that 10 times 10 equals 100. And I would imagine that all of you agree. No one's ever disagreed before. So, my guess is that you all realize that you had an opportunity. If you were to multiply these two numbers together, you had an opportunity to hit 100. Okay? Now, I want you to multiply the two numbers together. So, take your business number, take your life number, and multiply them. If you had a 5 and a 6, you'd have 30, right? Okay, so take those two numbers, multiply them, and write them in the circle on the bottom. Don't get lost in the number. Don't start having feelings. Just write it down. All right. And if you have to get your calculator out, that is okay. No one's going to judge you. You have not been in elementary school in a long time. It is okay. So look at that number, knowing that it could have been anywhere from 2 or 1, I should say, to 100. And I want you to look at that number, and I just want you to raise your hand if you feel like you'd like to see a higher number than what is there. Like maybe some of you are like, you're in the 90s and you feel it's great. And yet if you're at a number that doesn't feel great to you and you would like to see higher, raise your hand. Now, basing off experience, not knowing what I'm actually seeing, I'm going to guess that almost everybody, if not everybody, raised their hand. First of all, don't give any negativity to that. That's great, because your life would be very boring and very mundane if you had absolutely no growth that meant to be had. So it's okay. Now, here's the difference between somebody who is growth minded and who has kind of a fixed mindset and just lives inside a box. This knowledge gives you the opportunity to do something about it. So if you see that number and you don't love it, a growth-minded person is going to take action and do something about it, because the only person standing between who you are today and who you desire to be is you. Many people, though, wouldn't make any changes. That's the world we live in, right? And yet you got into a business that absolutely is a blank check career where you get to decide if you make $0 or tens and twenties of millions of dollars every single year. The choice is yours. All of it has been done. How does BOLD tie into this? BOLD stands for Business Objective, a Life by Design. And whether you've never taken BOLD or you've taken it 27,000 times, I want you to just pretend you've never taken BOLD for a second. And I'd like you to write something down for me. BOLD is opportunity. BOLD is opportunity. The 7-week BOLD experience is your opportunity to bridge any gaps that you have in your business and your life. It is a coaching and accountability-based experience where you get to put yourself in the right mindset and either train yourself or retrain and remind yourself into the right actions so that you can go out and get your unfair share of business and prosperity. BOLD has changed so many lives. It's certainly changed mine. The short version, and frankly, the reason I am a BOLD coach is because I feel absolutely a need to pay what this course has done for me forward. Because when I came to BOLD for the first time, I'd been in the business for almost 9 years. I'd moved across the country. I had been where I was living at the time for 9 months. I had sold exactly 0 houses. I had gone broke. I had gone through all of my savings. I was now heavily in debt, and I was desperate. And so I went to BOLD. Desperate. What a great reason. that bold changed everything for me. I went in October of the year that it was 20, it was in 2014. And I closed 7 deals by the end of the year. I went from closing nothing in the first 8, 9 months of the year to closing seven in the last three. It changed everything and saved me from getting a job, which is not that powerful, and yet it was at the time. I realized that the environment that I was in was almost more important than anything that was in the course material. To be in a coaching environment, to have constant accountability, to be around abundant thinkers rather than limited thinkers, which is what we're surrounded by most of the time. So I decided to keep going back. And what I did was I went 15 times in 5 years. And while I realized that the initial thought of that might be that, wow, that guy's a little ridiculous, or maybe he's a slow learner, both of which may be true. What that did for me was that my first year in Florida, I sold 7 homes, as I just shared with you. My third year, I closed 111. Now, I had never sold more than 20 homes in California career. So my best was 20. And 3 years in, I hit 111. My fifth year in Florida, I earned 7 figures for the first time. It's also the same year I became a MAPS coach. And I share that with you because I am someone who does not possess a college degree and did not come from any type of money. I, on paper, should not have the life that I live today. And the number one reason that I have it, besides me putting in the work, was going to bold and going to bold over and over again and keeping myself in an environment of growth and abundance and prosperity. I literally live in a manner today that I don't even understand sometimes. So my challenge to you is look at your business. Look at the number you wrote down. Look at where you were at this time last year. Are you up? Or are you down? Are you on track for your goals or are you behind? There's no reason you can't write the course. There's no reason you can't thrive in a changing market rather than just survive. Florida, California, and Arizona tend to be the markets that shift first in this country. I'm in Florida. I know from talking to your leadership that your market has started to shift. Days on market are going up, less multiple offers, stuff like that. We're probably about a year ahead of you. The market is shifting. And we have this lovely lawsuit that we're having to pivot with, right? So you have an opportunity to keep doing what you've been doing and keep watching things go like this. Or you have an opportunity this August to put yourself in an environment that will allow you to sell exactly as many homes as you like and make exactly as much money as you would like and thrive and take all the business from the agents that are running around screaming that the sky is falling because of the changes in our industry. It is a magical time. A shifting market is when the most opportunity is for us. So are you going to put yourself in the right place so you can take advantage of it? Or are you going to just keep doing what you're doing? Now, I trust that something inside of you is saying that you probably ought to be in the right environment and probably ought to be in this bold experience. And so what's going to happen after this email or this video, excuse me, is that your leadership is going to have registration forms for this bold. I'm an agent, so I'm going to say this with humility and love. If you say you're going to sign up for bold and yet you don't do it in this room, the chances are pretty good that you're actually not going to sign up. It's not malicious. I'm not calling you a liar. You're just busy and we tend to procrastinate. So I'm going to challenge you, if you know there's room for you to improve your business, your life, whatever it is, both, I'm going to challenge you to register for this class. Now, your leadership has all the information on dates, location, expense, all of that. I will tell you this, though. The return on investment when you take bold is huge. The average agent in bold will create 11 new pieces of business, 8 of which are under contracts, AKA those things that get us paid. So when you look at that versus throwing some money at Zillow or whatever third-party website to get internet leads, the return is fantastic. And by the way, it's average for a reason. If you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm not above average, you're probably, or you're not average, you're above average, you probably are. So cool, double that, triple that, do whatever you want. Please, somebody beat my record in a bold, because I had a student in Sarasota, Florida 2 years ago that had 257 new pieces of business, and I verified them because the number was so high. So what is your gap? Let's fix it this August. Let's change your world. Let's change your thinking. Let's get you moving in a direction that brings joy into your world and abundance into your business. Your leadership will take it from here. They're going to ask for volunteers of who's ready to sign up for Bold. They're going to give you a form. You're going to fill it out and hand it right back to them. They will send it to my assistant. She will get you registered and you won't have to think about it any longer. They also have my contact information. If you have any questions, it's really hard for me to answer them in a video. So simply send me a text or write me an email. And when I am no longer in the air, I will absolutely get back to you and answer any questions that you have. I'm never here to pressure someone to take Bold, and I am here to make sure that you make the most informed decision and the right choice for you and your business. I appreciate your time. Go do something, whether it's Bold or not, to raise that number. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed, and bold day. Take care.